Hello. In this video I explore the myth that the human body is perfect. According to, I don't know, the majority of people, a group of people, a lot of people, the human body is perfect. If it doesn't work the way you want it to, it's your fault. So if you're aging, looking at the detox community, it's because of your diet, because you're not clean enough. You are suffering the karmic consequences. So that's myth number one of this bigger myth of perfection. Myth number two: the DNA of the body is flawless, and anything that's wrong with you, anything that's wrong with your thinking, your life, your career, it's all trauma. Right? Or it's society. It's the people around you. But even in this, the fault is yours, because you could go somewhere else, or you could heal your trauma. So again, if the body is not the way you want it to, it's your fault, right? Number three: the body is perfect. Just change your thinking, change your mindset. If you have anxiety, even if it's not trauma, if you have health problems, again, if you are aging, just change your thinking. Your thinking will change your body. In the spiritual community, it goes so far that people say, oh, if you were more connected to God, this wouldn't be happening to you. I've even heard religious people say that God punishes you, and that's why you have a problem, which of course is an old superstition. People for thousands of years have claimed that if you have a disease, if you have a financial problem, if you have any problem really, even relationship, it's because God is punishing you. So it's karma, in other words. So this is what this myth is built on. This is the foundation of a brainwashing that the human body is perfect. They are telling people, they are telling you, they are making you tell yourself that everything wrong with you is your fault, but not to take responsibility. Not so you can fix it, but so you can feel guilty. And how long are you going to feel guilty? For your aging? Because let's face it, doesn't matter if you're a Chris Manley, or if you are, what's his name? I forgot his name. This breatharian guy. Doesn't matter if you're a breatharian. Doesn't matter if you are religious, if you're spiritual. Doesn't matter if you're thinking positive. Your body will still decay. You are going to die. So if you waste your time believing it's your fault, maybe you'll die a little bit quicker. But not only that, you won't live. You'll be too busy feeling low self-esteem, because somebody who is guilty of making bad choices has low self-esteem by default. So that's the agenda. The claim that the body is perfect is designed to hijack your self-esteem, to make your self-esteem dependent on what's happening outside. Now, what's happening outside, of course, includes the body. Yes. Your physical appearance, your health, your money, is to make you feel bad if those things aren't perfect. Because you're designed to be perfect, right? Why isn't it just perfect? That's the question that everybody asks themselves. Why isn't it just working perfectly? What am I doing wrong? It's always, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? So you will circle around looking for a solution. You will look for a solution, but you won't find a solution. You'll find ways to improve it, yes. But you will not get rid of the guilt that you could do more, that you could do better. That perhaps if you didn't eat those bananas, if you're into breatharianism, you'll even feel guilty for eating those bananas. My goodness. And if you have a friend who's disrespecting you, but you're still getting something out of it, you're still better than nothing, you'll feel guilty for settling for something rather than nothing. Because sometimes, yes, some people are toxic, but they could be worse. And when other times, yes, they are as toxic, I'm not making excuses, don't even go there. That's not the point. The point is, if there's something wrong in your life, they want you to feel guilty. The point is always guilt, not just guilt, but shame. Shame on you. You are perfect. Why don't you look perfect, right? Outside. Why is this not perfect? So you look into the mirror and you're wondering, why am I not as ideal as they tell me I should be? It's like comparing yourself to a model. Comparing yourself to an ideal? We've been doing this for thousands of years. Wherever we compare ourselves to Jesus Christ, or Buddha, or a model we see in a magazine, or a movie, it's always the same. It's to make you feel inferior. It's to make you weak, contracted, to make you desperate for perfection. To be desperate for perfection is to be stuck, because it's something you can never achieve. So it's a trap. It's luge. It's a demonic portal to feed on people. It's part of a game. This is a circus. You're like cattle. They're feeding on your need to be perfect. So if you claim that the body is perfect, even if it's only for a tiny second, even if it's only for one moment, that you believe you should be perfect, because you're not. Your body is not perfect. And you know this. But as long as you believe their lie, you will feel ashamed. So that's the point. Delicious is your shame. Feed them. So what can you do? It's simple. Accept the truth. But what is the truth? What's really going on here? Why is my body breaking down? I've been breatharian for a while. I've been worked on my traumas. I've studied family constellation. I've studied somatic experiencing, somatic embodiment, the armoring. I've done all of this. I've been obsessed with health because I felt ashamed of my responsibility, that I have failed to prevent my body from breaking down. Thinking, if I just work on more trauma, if I just improve my diet, blah, 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 if I change my mindset, it will decay a little slower. But how slow can it get? Eventually, on the path to perfection, you will find your limits. Now, me personally, not to brag, but it's part of my astrological destiny to be an expert on limits, because I have Saturn on my midheaven. That means I aspire to embody the limit. Now that is the definition of perfection, which of course is pathological, narcissistic, mentally ill. The truth is that there is something real to find, something real you need to embody. To reach a limit is to find the truth. Saturn is also about the truth. This realm, this body, it submits to the truth, right? Why do you think Saturn is in charge of this world? Because the truth is in control of your body. So to know the truth is to know who is in charge. Your DNA has been programmed. Has it been programmed to be perfect? But look around. Look at yourself, at your own life, your own choices. I know most of you watching, you haven't really pushed your limits. I mean, honestly, most people don't. So, most people will never understand this. But perhaps you will. Perhaps you are ready. If you're watching this and you've been listening thus far, you might be ready for this truth. So let me just tell you something. Let me be real. The human body is twisted. It has been designed purposefully and intentionally to break down. Now, most of you watching will not accept this. So, why do you think I took 13 minutes to say this? Do you really think anybody is going to believe this? Anybody is going to accept that their body has been designed to work against them? Well, maybe people in victim consciousness will believe it. It's irony, isn't it? Could it be possible that perhaps those victims that we mock, that at least maybe they got one thing right? Never mind, the victim consciousness is so false. But this human body is designed to be temporary. You know, it's like a car, a piece of technology. It's not too far-fetched, not really. It's a computer. Eventually the computer breaks down. But it has been designed to break down. You can't replace the body parts. I mean, sure, you can put somebody else's liver into your body, but your body will reject this. Do you know, for example, if you have a liver transplant, you have to take anti-rejection medication for the rest of your life. or you will die. Because your body does not allow cheating, does not allow you to replace any part of it. It's almost like somebody wanted you to be restricted, to be in a box. So this body is a box. How much can you do with a box? In New Age, they say you can do anything. In Breatharianism, they say you will be immortal. Apparently there's been this experiment, you put cells into a dish, and those cells never die if you leave them alone. Really. Lies. Deception. Brainwashing. Why are they so desperate to lie to you? Again, because they want your loosh. So desperate. Who ever told you that the body is twisted, that the body is designed to be destroyed? I don't know anybody. Not really. I've never heard this. I've only heard the opposite. I've only heard the lies. Okay. I know everybody's experience is different, but really, people are in malignant optimism. We don't like reality, do we? We don't like Saturn. Saturn is a malefic, right? Saturn is restrictive, bad for you, right? We don't want to admit it. Especially people who are more spiritual minded, because spirituality is connected to Jupiter and Neptune, which rule idealism and optimism. So in spirituality, we are trained to be optimistic, not realistic. We're trying to get away from Saturn. We don't want to go back. That's the matrix, right? It's the matrix to think the body could break down. It's that the brainwashing, right? It couldn't possibly be that we just run from one trap into another trap. But yes, this is the deception. So if you want to fix your problems, you can try to fix your problems. No argument from me. But don't believe that the body is perfect. If you do, I mean, you have free will, you can believe what you want. But it's not true. Because perfect means perfect for who? Perfect for who? For you? For me? For some kind of God? Who says this is what perfect looks like? Is it perfect if it's immortal? Or is it perfect if it's been purposefully designed to break down and it's doing its job? Yes, it's breaking down. I am God. I want it to break down. It breaks down perfect. Have you ever thought about that? If you really need this pathological belief, the body is perfect, to stay, then maybe it's perfect that it breaks down. So do you see the ridiculousness of this thinking? It's mentally ill. There's nothing healthy about thinking that the body is perfect. It's a delusion. It's completely delusional. It makes no sense. It's not logical. I can see right through it. I've explained it. Can you see it? I want you to see it. I want to make it make sense. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder. You don't have a claim on perfection, just as I don't have a claim on the truth. And yet, there is a truth out there, right? There is a perfection to find. But is it what you want? This perfection that you're looking for, does it conform to your expectations? Is the body the way you want it to be, really? Or is somebody else something other than your ego, so to speak, to use that language? Somebody other than your ego is responsible for how the body is supposed to work. Because that's what we are dealing with, isn't it? If New Age tells you it's your fault that your body is breaking down, it means that your ego is supposed to override reality. In other words, it's narcissism. It's narcissism. It's narcissism to believe that the body is perfect. Yes. Because it's rigid. It's like, I need the body to be perfect. For what? I need the body to be immortal. For what? This is... Why are you so attached to this? Get out of here. Yes, you are suffering. Do you need lies to alleviate the wound? It's like putting makeup on. Oh, I have this ugly acne, but I'm just going to put some makeup on. I just believe it's perfection. Who needs this? Big deal the body isn't perfect. Big deal it's breaking down. So what? Are you really so weak that you need it to be perfect, really? Or are you better than this? Are you more than this? Where's your self-esteem coming from? Is it coming from this? Is this in charge of your self-esteem? It's aging, so I have low self-esteem. Really? That's weakness. If your self-esteem depends on the outside, yes, this is the outside. Absolutely, it's the outside. Then it's weakness. Don't be weak. Accept the truth. Tall as a mountain. Saturn. Reality. Strength. Boundary. Protection. The truth.